everybody, welcome to my Subaru, and this morning I want to begin an Advent devotional series from now until Christmas. So a couple times a week, I'm just going to walk with you through the Christmas story, mostly in the Gospel of Luke. In fact, it's the tradition in my household before we open presents on Christmas morning. Dad has to read the story of Christmas from the Gospel of Luke. And of course, when my kids were young, it was just the anticipation was killing them. But it was my way, in a small way, to remind my family, to remind myself of what Christmas is really all about. It's fun having family, the decorations, the tree, the food, the presents, all of that sometimes buries the truth of what Christmas is really all about. And so as we walk through the Christmas story, I'm going to give you hopefully some very helpful reminders of what the meaning of Christmas is really all about and how significant it is for us today. Let me read a couple verses for you from the Gospel of Luke. In the 6th month, God sent the angel Gabriel to Nazareth, a town in Galilee, to a virgin pledged to be married to a man named Joseph, a descendant of David. The virgin's name was Mary. The angel went to her and said, "Greetings, you who are highly favored. The Lord is with you." And Mary was greatly troubled at his words and wondered what kind of greeting this might be. But the angel said to her, "Do not be afraid, Mary. You have found favor with God." Now notice the complexity of Mary's response. She's troubled. This is concerning. She's afraid. But she also wonders. That is, she ponders. She thinks deeply about this experience that she's having. Is it rational? Does it make sense? This is so unusual and out of the ordinary. But listen to what the angel says next. You will be with child and give birth to a son, and you are to give him the name Jesus. He will be great, and he will be called the Son of the Most High. The Lord God will give him the throne of his father David, and he will reign over the house of Jacob forever. His kingdom will never end. Now let me pause there, and just one thing I really want to communicate to you today. And that is, and any of you who have had children, you know how incredibly and radically vulnerable children are. They are absolutely helpless. In all of the animal kingdom, humans at birth may be the most incredibly and radically vulnerable of all of creation. Now think about this. God, who created everything, who is the most high, most powerful being in all of the universe, out of nothing he spoke and brought in not only our world, but all of the stars, the constellations, all of the universe. He is so powerful our minds cannot even comprehend. And yet in this moment, in time and in history, God became radically vulnerable. A baby. I love what Dorothy Sayers says about the incarnation, God becoming human flesh. She says the incarnation means that for whatever reason, God chose to let us be limited and to be subject to sorrows and death. We now know that he had the honesty and courage to take his own medicine. He can ask nothing from us that he has not exacted from himself. He has himself gone through the whole of human experience, from the trivial irritations of family life and the cramping restrictions of hard work and lack of money, to the worst horrors of pain and humiliation, defeat, despair, and death. He was born in poverty and died in disgrace. He suffered infinite pain, all for us. And he thought it well worth his while. I love that because it reminds us that in the midst of our pain, our discouragement, in the midst of maybe the most difficult Christmas some of you will ever have, in one of the most difficult years that many of us have ever had, that God knows our pain. He knows our sorrow. He knows our weakness. He knows our frustration. Because God became flesh. And God, in becoming flesh, became radically and incredibly vulnerable. And so take hope today, knowing that you have a God who completely understands what you're facing today. God bless you guys, and may this Advent Christmas season, may you experience in a new and fresh way the meaning of Christmas. Have a good day.